Hey everyone.
We're back.
It's been a while.
Yes. We just got lunch.
Oh yes, let's do a food haul before we get started. So I got a kimchi stir fried on rice.
Oh, that looks
chicken.
yummy.
And we got a popcorn chicken to share.
Delicious.
Delish.
I got a soup, which I'm not going to turn because it's going to spill.
Spill all over the table.
And bubble tea.
Thank you as usual for not sponsored, but
One day.
We very much like your food a lot. If you are my student and you're listening to this episode, I don't work there anymore, so you can't find me.
You're going to be so sad. Also, sorry guys, it's been a while.
I was telling Catherine this earlier. I was looking through the camera footage, and the last time I recorded was May 29th.
I didn't realize it was that long ago.
So, okay, my question is, what did we do?
What was our last pod? We just talked, right? Well, like during the time that we didn't record since May. What were we doing? Is that what you
Okay, yeah, okay. So we finished the pod in May. I don't remember what you talked about.
It's been that long. I think we just caught up. I think these have just been like catching up because we haven't seen each other and.
Also, that's still very true now.
Okay, no, we like see each other, but like we're not recording.
True, and we also just send TikToks to each other and we derp that way.
How am I gonna eat?
Yeah, it's been a while, and we apologize. You know, what's so funny to me is that we were so good. Our first year of this podcast, we did consistent,
and
then trauma happened, and then healing and therapy.
I thought you were gonna say summer happened, but no, you said trauma.
No, even last year we were fine. Right? We just, yeah.
This is the summer of glowing up and healing and eating. It's always time for eating.
Okay, so last May, so I guess June, what happened? I'm just trying to think about what happened in the last 2 months. Okay.
What did I? Let me consult my phone.
I don't have my cellular device.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
It's right there. Behind the laptop.
Oh, thank you. Because, okay, so I know that in June I wrapped up my contract.
Right.
Yes?
I said right.
Oh, you said wait. I'm like, okay, I'll shut up now. So I wrapped up my contract and finished. So I counted. I did 6 trips and 5 concerts.
Oh, right, all the band trips.
Right, in 5 months, which is kind of crazy. So it was totally lots of fun. Like, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of reflection about like how it kind of gave me a little more confidence back, you know, and like definitely after taking like some time off of life and like work and stuff, it definitely kind of like made me into this weird spiral of like, am I good enough?
Josh has a bit of imposter syndrome.
I don't have a bit. I am literally imposter syndrome.
Okay, it's a lot.
I am all of imposter syndrome. So that was kind of nice to like reflect back and be like, I can do stuff.
You can do this.
I just need to be given a platform.
You can teach. You have a degree.
It's not like I studied right like there. 6 years.
No big deal.
Yeah, so that was kind of nice. Like, and then I just pretty much yeeted, just left. I literally the last day of school went to Toronto for
basically
8 days, and then I went to Vancouver and then the States.
Can I say this? You missed the
what?
The beach party.
What beach party?
The beach party at the end of the year. We can bleep that out.
That's my school then. I did not go to my last day of work because it was a beach day, and this is my reasoning, and I'm sure you'll agree with me because you're my friend. But I worked so many over hours, like planning for trips and all that stuff. Like, it was not during my school day, and I was like, I don't need to go. And like I ended up like spending the day before a couple hours after school cleaning up the whole band room. So like cleaning the instruments, putting them away.
Was it just you?
I mean, luckily my colleagues helped me.
Okay, good. I was like, oh.
Right, but like I was just like, no, I'm not going to spend 8 hours at a beach.
Yeah.
8 hours, 5 hours probably.
That's a long time at the beach
with middle school kids. If you're listening to this, I love and care for you, but not at the beach.
Just at the beach, not at the beach.
Yeah, and also they weren't allowed to swim.
What?
I know.
Why?
I don't know.
Like a safety thing? Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's kind of been like me in the last 2 months, like finishing teaching and then just leaving.
Just yeeting himself
Just eating
away.
myself away and
'Cause
just
you went-
enjoying myself.
You did Toronto.
Yep.
I feel like you were a lot of places. You like pulled a me and you were like everywhere.
I went to Toronto for 8 days.
Yeah.
I hung out with Christina, Sherry a bit, and my cousins and some friends. And then came back for like 3 days and then went to Vancouver for like 4 days and then went to the States for 3 days and then came back.
That one was a surprise to me. I was like, you're going where?
It was literally like the Thursday before I went to Toronto, I went up to hang out with my colleagues. And then we decided to go to the States, and that's when I decided. So it was very last minute.
I love that for you.
And that's not something I usually do, and I could talk about more about that later on. But like I learned a lot about myself and like my travel in the last, I guess, since like Taiwan and like
You don't really do
No.
like impromptu trips?
like okay, yeah, I was thinking about it a lot recently. But anyways, we'll talk about it later.
Let's talk about it now. How did you feel making that?
I want you to talk about your week first.
Okay, hang on.
Wait.
Let's put a bookmark in that. Okay.
Save it for later.
What do I have? For June, Josh's birthday.
Oh my gosh.
We went. Yeah, you had a birthday. Josh had a birthday.
Oh, I had my birthday and I had my glow up video. You remember that?
Right. Yeah, he posted that. Go watch that. We'll link it in the bio. What else happened? I still wasn't working here. This month I purposely did not plan a whole bunch of stuff because I remember May was chaotic.
Okay, this is something I think Catherine took some time off. We talked about it last time, I think. And you just went ham on your like hangouts.
And you were like, why?
I
And
was like, what are you doing?
I'm resting.
And it was it like I think I came back from Toronto and you're like, hey, do you want to do a pod? And I'm like, I'm socially drained. She's like, me too. I'm like, this is all our fault.
We're just having fun. Yeah, I don't think I actually did that much in June. Like Cyrus's mom came from Prince Rupert, so we hung out.
Hi, Tita.
And then, Vancouver. We went to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Was that June? Yeah. This year.
Oh my gosh. We did. I skipped work for that.
Oh, yeah, you did.
No, sorry. I took a 6 day. And you know what? People who think I actually put like an Instagram thing using my sick days, I was mentally just so drained.
Honestly,
that is a sick day.
Use your sick days.
And so if whoever commented that, you know who you are. How dare you? I know.
Who said that?
I said, never mind, I can't say it.
Okay.
It's really-
I went to Salt Spring for the first time in June.
How was that?
It was really nice. It was really busy. I don't know if I liked that part of it.
But you get the vibe.
I had to get the vibe. It was cute.
You
but,
go to the Lavender Farm?
No, we didn't. Yeah,
We can go next
we
time.
can go. And then what else? That's like, and the last. Oh, I went camping again.
Nice. You did a lot of camping.
With who? Oh. And then, yeah, I think that last week I was just kind of like, oh my god, I have to go back to work because I went back to work in
Update.
July.
Update.
I'm back. It's
You're
okay.
working 3 days a week, right?
Yeah, 3 days a week for the first few weeks. The first week was really shitty. It was like super tiring, but it's fine now. We're back. Unfortunately.
I saw your some of Catherine's like Instagram stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's hanging out with her coworkers. I'm like, I could already tell that it was a better. You know what I mean? Although the first week, I remember you sent a snap of yourself in the car.
I know, I was like decompressing in the car. I do that a lot though. I don't know if you do, but like after work, I'll just like sit in my car and sit there for like 20 minutes sometimes.
Okay, this is what I do. I go in my car, I drive home, then sit in my car at home, and just sit there for like 20 minutes.
Oh, you drive first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think because my brain's still going, so I just kind of like think,
Right.
and I just go home, sit there.
In the driveway.
Because like I think also I noticed, I think maybe just being back home, like it's a little bit different because of family situation and stuff. But like I think for me, it's like I already knew that when I enter the house, it's another battle. Do you know what I mean? There's another thing I need to deal with. So I think in Vancouver it was different. I could just like I would just go home and just sit there.
You have your own space.
In my literally my own space, no one's there. I can just decompress myself. But me coming back home, I knew that I needed to, help around the house or help my parents out, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take care of my nephew. The amount of energy I had left. So I guess it's different. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, we're back.
We are back. I was talking to Elliot like when I was in Vancouver. I'm like, yeah, he was listening to our pod before I got into the car, and I was like,
What a
yeah.
good fan. We love
Yeah.
you, Elliot.
Thank you, Elliot. We haven't done much recording because I've been out of the place, out of Canada, Victoria. You've been out of Victoria. Like our schedules don't match. We both were socially drained
So
at the
tired.
same time. But we're like, we'll try our best to get as much as we can out.
We're trying.
I'm trying.
Life's busy, guys.
I feel like, and it's summertime,
It's true.
so I think we'll probably, hopefully, be better.
When the weather is not as nice and I can't go outside, I'll be like, okay, we can record now.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. Oh my god, what was it I wanted to talk about? And you told me to talk about my month.
Told you to shut up.
Shoot.
Oh, my reflection of traveling.
Oh yeah. So how did you feel about that like impromptu trip to Portland and stuff?
Okay. So I think we talked about Taiwan before. We talked about how I actually, it was like my first vacation, and I was like actually chill and like relaxed and whatever. When I went to Vancouver for Toronto, my colleagues were like, oh, we should go to the States. And I'm like, we should totally go. I was like, first time ever where I'm like, let's do it without much thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like I was thinking back, like as I went to Toronto, as I went to Seattle, and Portland and like Oregon or whatever, I was like, never realized how much anxiety I had about everything. So from like me, I would like before going on the trip, I would like panic about everything, but like what to bring, everything I need, blah, 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 the itinerary. I'll be super rigid, like on like, oh, we need to do this. I need to know what's happening, blah, blah, blah. But when I was in Toronto, I think this is the thing, decision fatigue. Have you heard of it?
What is that?
It's like basically like I had like, especially after I started teaching, I had a really hard time like having opinions and like choosing to do things. Like if we go out, usually I would ask my friends to pick a place to go, because it's just as a teacher you just do so much in terms of making decisions.
Yep.
That there's something called decision fatigue. And when I went to Toronto, I was like, I had no plans. I was like, I just want to hang out with my friends and my cousins, whether that is going out for lunch, whether it's going to my cousin's house, whatever. I didn't care what we did. And I've been in Toronto so many times, I think, so I didn't really mind. But like, you know, sometimes that's a little bit tougher for people who like a plan. But I used to be like that. I used to be like to the dot, like going here. But Toronto, I was literally just like, I don't know, I don't care, where we want to go.
Interesting.
Right? So I used to be anxious about all that stuff. But I think, okay, this is something I noticed too, was that even anxious about what I was wearing. Like back then, I was like, oh, does this show off that I'm gay?
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But now I'm just like,
Or whatever.
wear whatever. But
that is progress.
right?
Yes.
But that was a lot of this like anxiety I had that took a lot of energy out of me that I didn't recognize until Toronto and Seattle. Because I'm like, even packing, I would be like, oh, I should make sure I bring, you know, all these clothes. Versus now I'm like, you know, I'll bring clothes, and like worst case scenario, if I forget, then I can just buy a shirt or something. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, I never realized anxiety has such a huge play on even my traveling. And like, I'm like way less anxious and more like carefree about everything, even like itinerary, to what I wear, to how I present myself in front of people. Like,
That's so nice.
it's so it was like very like reflective and like even like, yeah, it's just like, even I think just picking what to wear was a huge thing that I didn't really realize was a huge thing.
Try not to look too gay.
I know. I
Picking straight outfits.
right? But like, even like being so hyper aware of what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, am I sharing too much information? I was very like censored and like filtered, maybe that's a better word. Not censored. I don't have a foul mouth. Like filtered.
Yep.
And I didn't recognize that until I went to Taiwan, or I went to Toronto again. And I went to like, even like, because I went to Toronto in October, like last October. It was very different. And even some of my cousins were saying that too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It must be nice though. you actually get to kind of, I guess,
enjoy myself.
enjoy yourself. I mean, not that you didn't enjoy yourself before, but like in a greater capacity.
Yeah, it was definitely very interesting coming home and just being like, oh, like, for example, I would never have bought these shorts. They're very pink.
He's wearing really cute shorts.
Okay, and
They're
like
Adidas.
for me, it's like back then I just had this thought of pink is gay, which I think a lot of people also had. Like, to be fair, but for me, I inside I'm like, I don't really care. Like, if a guy wears pink, I don't think gay. I just think it's a nice color, and pink looks good on guys actually.
Pink is cute.
Yeah, and but for me, I just thought that it would be, I would be wearing too much or wearing too little, right? Like, yeah, it was a weird like mental acrobatics, and like now I feel a little more confident. And like even that photo shoot that you will link in the bio, that was like pushing myself out of some boundaries I've never have done. And I told my friend who took photos for me, hi Shanna, I was just like, you can do whatever, like I don't care, like push me out of my comfort zone, make me wear what you think I look good in. And that's what she did, and I was very happy that I did that, because I wouldn't have done some of that stuff if I didn't let her have complete creative reins on what I wore. And so yeah, so it's been really cool. And like even shopping, there's less of a, this is so much going on in my brain. Like even shopping and buying clothes, there was always I really like this, but it'll make me look too gay.
That's definitely like I've noticed that in the past year with your style change. You definitely notice that you're just like less inhibited in your clothing choices. You just kind of like buy what you like now instead of, because you used to wear like all black.
Yep.
But now he's wearing pink shorts. Like, like look cute.
Yeah. So it just, you know what? I kind of just like feel bad for younger Josh, like like a letter to younger Josh. Like I cared so much about what other people thought, and like care so much of what people like would perceive me as, that like I just ripped out any kind of personal interest or joy. And that's like even thinking about like, I don't know, personal interest of what I like to do. Like luckily music is a pretty, I would say, like creative, quote
Like you wouldn't necessarily think someone was gay if they were in music.
Yeah.
But
like, I mean, a lot of people think artistic, like creative guys are typically on the gayer side, but like but like there's a good balance now, right? Like there are a lot of male singers and artists that are straight and all that stuff. But like I was just so scared to put myself out there. I think like that's probably why I didn't, post as much back then. I didn't I think if TikTok was around our time in high school, I probably would have done it more if I was out. Versus like I was so closeted. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want anyone to even like get a hint I was gay, all that stuff. And it's just like, oh, no one cares. Or people who care don't know me.
What's that saying? Oh, what is it? The people that, have you heard this? The people that care don't matter. Oh my god, I'm gonna get this wrong.
People that care don't matter.
Wait, is it the other one? Help me. We'll look it up. Never mind.
The people
that don't care matter, and the people that care don't matter.
The people.
I'm saying it very wrong.
Care.
Just butcher all the quotes.
I'm trying to find it.
This pod is just going to be eating ASMR.
People who mind don't matter, but people who matter don't mind.
There we go.
Dr. Seuss.
Oh, it's Dr. Seuss?
Yeah. Interesting.
Thank you, Dr. Seuss.
Thank you. And like I think this is something to be maybe a hot take, kind of, there was this movement. I remember back then of like Lady Gaga's "Born This Way." Like I was born this way. Blah, blah, blah. There is I think there is a line to be put down though, because I don't ever want to be a bad person. So if I'm a hateful person, that's not something you're born with. That's something you're taught. But like I think sometimes some people use that excuse as a way for their actions. That, you know what I mean? Like,
Definitely.
and I don't think that's okay. Like in
Like,
terms of being born this way means like, I don't know, race, I don't know, family, whatever the case, right? But like you can't
use "born this way" as an excuse to be a bitch, basically.
there you go. And like, and that, I think sometimes people twist that.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's like being born into like an Asian household, the youngest, whatever. Those are things that I can't choose, you know. But I can choose how I act and how I treat people, and I think that matters, right? And I even, you know, a lot of my friends were telling me, even when I was like suffering and like struggling with stuff, I still was kind to people. I could have been a bitter person, but I decided not to. Right?
Josh has never been unkind to people ever.
I want to be.
He wanted to be, but he just wasn't. He's a nice boy.
I just know that people are going through stuff too.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate because some people can't figure it out and like externally, like you know.
Yeah.
They know.
Anyways, so I'm just a really insecure person, and like have learned to be more secure with myself in the last, I think, a couple years. It's kind of like a slow,
Especially in the last year.
Yes, it's very
Definitely.
fast.
Yeah. The year of healing.
Something I did also notice was my teaching. Like I was very. I mean, to be fair, I was also teaching at a Christian school before, so
It
like
probably didn't help either.
didn't really help. But like, even teaching at this last school, I just wore whatever. Like I tried to dress up, kind of. I didn't really wear t-shirts until the end because it was too hot. But I would wear like a button up and my like jeans, like
That's so chill.
right, and like or cargo pants, and like because I didn't
That's
really
so
care
chill.
much. Like I cared as a teacher, and I'm a teacher, and that's how, like how I dress. Sure, it could change how people view me, but it's my teaching and my heart that matter, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, like even that and not caring about my aesthetic or my look was such a huge change for me.
I feel like the school change definitely helped too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I felt a little more free, and like I said, I mean, if I were to go back to a Christian school, I probably would I would wear what they would want us to wear, like let's say kind of semi-formal, whatever the case. That's totally fine, but I'd probably be less worried about what I was wearing. And like, for example, let's say if it was like I would wear like,
Was that something you were actively worried about at the Christian school? Like when you would show up to work, you'd be like, oh my God, is what I'm wearing okay?
I don't think it was like conscious, it's like it was just in the back of my, I didn't think about it much, but I knew that I would double think about what I wore. And like to the point where I wore the same things, and the kids called me out on it.
Oh my God, okay. Those kids, like that doesn't,
I don't have
Forget
money
about
for
that.
that, guys.
we ain't that rich, okay?
Right? And so like for me, it's like I had clothes to wear. It just wasn't work appropriate. Yeah.
That makes sense. So they went to school in like friggin' Gucci jackets and like,
Some of y'all kids, I know you listen to this. You're richer than me, and you haven't worked a day in your life.
want to donate some of your jackets?
Yeah. Your
Arcteryx? Oh, that's what I need to get. We were discussing in the car earlier today about Josh's next job. And it was between Lululemon and Oakenfort. We decided Oakenfort because that's more Josh's style. And I'll get a job at Lululemon. And someone needs to get a job at Arcteryx.
I think we just need a friend at every single store.
We'll just cover the
Someone
bases.
work at Uniqlo.
Would you work at Uniqlo? You would totally fit in.
What?
You have the look.
Oh, you think because I'm Asian?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
perm.
Excuse me.
I would fit in too.
No, yeah, and okay, this is the thing too. Is like even it's just so much like I never realized how much pressure I put on myself of like working, like even like fashion, right? Like I think it's in the recent years that men fashion have been even more open.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me to work at a clothing store,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why did I even think it was like a bad thing? You know, I thought, you know what I mean? It's really weird.
You thought it was a bad thing before?
I thought it would make me look more gay.
Mm.
Right? And like, I don't know, like people, I respect people who know how to dress well, straight or gay or whatever, you know, like, and I think generally people do. And so for me, it's like, it's just so sad that I kept telling myself these things, that I didn't like pursue these kind of things. Like, I love fashion. I've always loved to get into that scene, you know, like, but I'm glad, I'm not like, I'm sad that I thought about it, but I'm glad I got, you know, through this process and dealt with a lot of stuff, because now moving forward, I know how to help people who are going through the same thing, or help remind myself of what I used to be like and how I've changed and how much happier I am now just being myself.
And now Josh can wear whatever he wants.
Right?
We're still trying to get him to wear a mesh shirt.
Okay, I wore a mesh shirt for a party.
That, not quite. I feel like we have the same vision, and it's not quite what you wore. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close.
I just remember like we went shopping in Vancouver with Sierra, and they're like, mesh shirt. I'm like, guys, and we saw one at Zara, but it was like $80. I was like, I'm not spending $80.
Yeah, $80 on mesh.
So I spent $20 on the store in Toronto.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, okay. You know what's interesting? I had a random thought, but so let's say like I wore the mesh shirt and the tank top at the party, and I have some reactions to it. I'm like, oh my gosh, Josh, that's awesome. But I think those are the people that gave me that reaction were people who knew me pre glow up.
Okay.
But people who know me during the glow up don't think it's a huge deal.
Because they just think it's what you wear.
You know what I mean? It's like for you guys, you're like, oh my gosh, Josh is wearing a tank top. Do you remember? At like the New Year's party and like stuff like that, right? Because you guys knew me pre glow up. But a lot of my friends in Vancouver knew me as like the guy who likes to dress up and dress nicely. So when I wore a mesh shirt, it wasn't like a...
It was just, oh, that's Josh.
Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting.
Pre-glow up, Josh.
I appreciate Josh's outfit changes too. Like he wore these shorts today, and I was like, pink.
But also because it's pink.
Pink. We're gonna see the Barbie movie too, and it's all pink.
Yes, I do have I actually have a decent amount of pink clothes.
I do, but they don't like really fit together. Like would yours make a good outfit? Mine are like all different shades of pink and kind of like different genres of clothing, I guess. So it would look like kind of weird.
I was thinking of wearing like either like a pink tank top with my pink jacket. Remember?
I was thinking that pink jacket.
And then I have white jeans. Yeah. And then I don't know what kind of shoes. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Do you have white shoes? I
have my off-white besties that were...
Those work.
Yeah, but they're dirty. They're really dirty.
Clean them.
I will clean them. I have a pink hoodie too.
I think that jacket's really cute.
It's a statement jacket.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I saw so many like TikToks about the Barbie movie about like people dressing up. I'm like, that's so fun. That's so cool.
I guess you didn't have many sisters, so you probably didn't grow up with Barbies, hey?
No, I remember playing with Barbies, like at like maybe this was a sign, but
Is it where you reach for the Barbies instead of the toy cars? Is like that kind of thing?
Okay, to be fair, it was like we went to a family friend's house, and there's like older dads and like girls, and they were playing with Barbies, and we just all played. So it wasn't just me, but like, maybe that was a sign. Everyone else turned out straight, so I don't know.
Yeah, because I had Barbies, and then my brother had cars, so I played with both. Yeah.
Also, I'm loving this food. I haven't had this in a really long time.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I was like, Josh, where do you want to eat? He's like, as usual. And I'm like, yeah. Always.
Actually, I would say really good food, generally.
It's like comfort food.
We also came here for like 5 years or whatever. I don't remember how long.
Has it been that long? Whoa.
7 years? Yeah, something like that. I don't remember what their anniversary is.
Wow. That's good for you guys. You're a great restaurant.
Good for you, Pat. Actually, I can switch it up because I was one of their, because I used to just be a bubble tea shop, right? And then
When it was still a super tiny little shop.
yep, and then it became a restaurant, and I was one of the first workers there.
You're the OG.
I'm the OG. I keep
The
coming
OG.
back because I have no job.
Because he keeps getting unemployed.
Thank you, Pat, for taking me back. Love you.
Does Pat listen to this?
I don't think so.
He should. We've shouted your restaurant out so many
We
times.
shout you out
All the time.
many times. We don't expect anything back, but we expect some kind of love.
When he went to the other restaurant, he gave us that sushi roll, remember?
Mm.
That was great, thank you. Even though you don't listen to this.
Taro?
Yeah.
So, I believe Pat might still work there, but I believe he's like a assistant manager or something. But basically, because you know my as usual is closed down for a bit because the university had, so he worked there. So he
I
worked
didn't know he was assistant manager.
or supervisor, I think supervisor or something like that. But so he helped start that up, and the food's really good there. We went there like
So
two
good.
times.
I've only been there once. The first time was when I went with you.
Was that your first time? Anyway, it was really good. And then we ordered too much because I just finished my last concert. And then at the end of the meal, this guy comes up and is like, "Oh, Patrick wants to give you a new roll." And we're like,
Well, I thought like he was confused and had the wrong table, and I was like, because we didn't order anything,
Yeah.
right? And he also looked confused. He's probably like, which Asians are they? Which table of Asians?
So it was very kind of him, but we had one piece each, and I ended up giving it to my parents out there, and they said they really liked it, so
It was really good. Would go back.
I totally would go back. Their chicken karaage, very different, but it was so good.
It's so good. It was different, hey?
Mm-hmm.
But also good. Hi guys, it's Catherine. Thanks for your patience during our great episode hiatus of 2023. Josh is laughing at me in the background. Thank you. It's just been a busy summer, but stay tuned because Josh and I have a bunch of new and exciting things planned. Maybe some cooking videos, maybe some outdoor adventures. Who knows? Stay tuned. Bye. What was I gonna say? Barbie.
Food.
Are you going to see Oppenheimer?
I heard they're both really good,
Yeah.
and so I think I would definitely watch Barbie more than that.
What order would you watch them in? Would you do Oppenheimer first and then Barbie, or Barbie first and then? Am I even saying it right? Oppenheimer? Okay.
I'm dyslexic.
Oh.
I think I'll watch Barbie first.
I was gonna do the opposite.
I will watch Barbie first because I feel like I wouldn't watch the other one.
Oh.
So if I watch Barbie first, at least I can watch it before out of movie theaters.
Oh. I just feel like Oppenheimer is not really the movie I would watch to begin with, so I don't know if I'd actually watch it.
I am just curious about Barbie, but before the very popular song came out from Billie Eilish, which like definitely like resonated with me too much.
Too much.
Yeah. Anyways, we can talk about that. We can deep unbox that later. I was just really curious because they have so much advertisement and like little things everywhere. It was really interesting how they did it. And so I was like really intrigued about what it was going to be about, how they're going to do the Barbie movie, all that stuff. So even before all the TikToks came out and stuff, I was already intrigued. So that's probably why I'm going to watch that.
I'm forgetting what I'm going to say.
Girl, finish your thoughts.
Help, I can't. There's too many. I feel like I have ADD. Not ADHD because I'm lazy, but ADD.
Barbie. The other one.
The other one that I'm probably not gonna watch.
Is it TikTok? Is it a movie? Is
I don't know. It'll come back, maybe. We'll circle back to it.
It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. Do you not think you have ADD?
Okay.
How's your attention span?
Terrible. I think it's a mixture of COVID, and then also
Probably burnout too.
taking a break. And then my brain I have a hard time focusing now.
Me too.
Like, I find, like, if I do work, I have to have sound. Like, quiet sound.
Like white noise?
Mm.
Like quiet music? Like classical music?
For example,
Jar running around upstairs?
that's too much sound. For example, I've been just, like, randomly designing stuff and putting on Etsy. Because I used to, like, make all these, like,
Well, yeah, your
lesson
cards and
plan templates and, like, for myself anyways. So I decided to, like, just make random things. And then
Have you been selling stuff?
oh,
Do you have
haven't
a
sold
side
anything
hustle?
yet. I sold 2 music booklet things.
Yes.
But I just did these, like, where is it? What's my favorite one? Hello? Like little, like, bubble tea, like, Weekly Planet. I can't zoom in, but like stuff like that. So like
That's
they're
so
bubble tea, like
cute.
colored theme things.
You should
So,
do
like,
a matcha one.
I am making one actually. But like I've just been doing that, but I find myself I really find it difficult to just focus and do it without anything else in the background. So actually I find the best time to do it is when I'm playing games with my friends and then I die and I just go over and start working.
Oh, because
And I
you have
hyperfix
them
it.
in the
And
background?
then the round finishes and I go back to the game.
Interesting.
It's really but I used to be able just to sit down and just do work. So I don't
Not
know
anymore.
not anymore.
That's
So
okay.
but anyways, yeah. So because I actually sold so I made these I usually make like music theory pages for my kids, right? So I just thought, oh, maybe I'll just like sell it because I mean people might
Might
need
as
it.
well. Yeah.
And so then, like, I got 2. Actually, it's really sweet because one person sent me an email, and he was like, his late wife played organ, and he never learned how to play piano. So he wanted to learn how to play piano, so he bought it, and it helped him read music, and now he can play.
Stop. That's so sweet.
I wish he wrote that.
I
as
hope
a,
he's playing beautiful music.
I hope so too. I wish that he wrote that as a review on it. That would have been really sweet.
That's really cute.
But anyway, so for me, it's like it costs like 20 cents USD to like post the listing, and then it's digital, right? So it's not like I had to like ship things out.
That's really nice.
So because I know back then I used to sell cards, remember that? And so I might just put the digital print on there, and then they can just buy the design.
That's a really good way of doing it.
I don't know. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know, just using my creative outlet in some way, and just
I think money is a bonus.
I've seen a lot of people make like Twitch stream layovers, like the background, but like be right back, or like
Oh yes,
and little emotes and stuff.
cute.
And I'm like, I can totally
oh my gosh,
do that.
make little emojis.
Yeah, I got my little bubble tea emojis.
When we become famous Twitch streamers, just wait. Once I get my keyboard, just you wait.
I'll become a famous Twitch emote Etsy shop.
You'll make all my emotes,
Honestly,
all my backgrounds.
right? I think Rosanna would be really good at it.
She would. I agree. She'd make super cute things.
We talked to her about that. Girl, how's it?
It's so good.
I actually haven't had the
What's
Taiwanese beef noodle.
You want to try the soup?
No, I'm good.
It's not a very good soup spoon. Oh, there's a soup spoon. I have a soup spoon. That's okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have 1 month of summer left.
Oh.
Any plans?
I'm going camping again. Oh, I have a wedding. Anne's wedding at the end of the month in Vancouver.
Your birthday's coming up.
Yes, that's coming up. That's about it. I'm trying not to plan too much stuff again because I'm back to work. It's like, it's hard. You have to actively be like, no, don't plan anything.
But I was like, I guess, like for me, when people ask me to do stuff, I know what kind of energy it takes now. So I can say, oh, sorry, I'm busy, or not this week.
It's hard because sometimes You like plan something and then the day before you're like, oh, I'm really tired. And then it's like, but I don't want to cancel.
That's the worst one. Mm-hmm. When you have energy, when they ask you, but sure. And then you get the next day, you're like...
Introvert problems. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I've been trying to just like keep every other weekend free. So I have a weekend to just like not do anything.
Do you ever think you would work part-time, or does your job have to be full-time?
It has to be. They used to have part-time lines, but they got rid of them. It's kind of annoying. Even like, what is it? A 0.8, what they call, I think. So you'd get like every other Friday off, I think. Would be so nice. But they don't have those. Not for us. It's either casual or full-time.
Would you do it, 0.8?
I would, 100%. I'd love to have like every other Friday off. Because I mean, you have like your holidays and stuff, but that I feel like it doesn't count.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So wait, because like my question is like you have sick days, you get paid for those, but you also have time off, holiday.
I have sick days and we get the stat holidays, and then that's about it. There's unpaid leave days you can take, but you don't get paid for those.
Lame.
Yeah. Oops. How dare they not pay me for days I don't want to work? How dare.
Honestly. No, actually, it was interesting even... Sorry, I put my arm on my chair.
Bye, Josh.
I fell. Even talking about this year and taking my sick days was new to me. I didn't take sick days my first 2 years of teaching.
Why?
I felt like I was a disappointment. I wasn't doing my job. Even my dad, okay, Father Poon, even was like, I had to like kind of explain to him. He's like, "Why are you taking a time off?" My dad, I have sick days. I better use them. Like, they're not there just because. They're there so I can take a break because I'm tired. And just like for him to kind of recognize that and be like for me, it's like Taiwan was like a really great vacation for my family. And so like seeing my parents so happy and relaxed, I'm like, can you imagine like we just went on a vacation every 2 years or something.
Their generation was raised to just like work.
Exactly.
Right.
But like because of that has trickled down to us, or they're paying for it now. You know what I mean? And so, but I get it because they're hustle. But like in the end, I'm like, you know, my dad would have still got paid. Yep. And that's the thing. I was just like, but my dad, you know, loves to work. My parents are both workaholics, so like I can get that, and like it helps them not think about things. I think, you know. But for me, I'm like thinking about all the thoughts.
We're like, use our sick time.
Yeah. So
I know
use your sick days and take a break.
Yeah. I know for my work for a bit, like, it's almost like they made you feel guilty taking your sick days. So like you would call in sick, but then you just feel anxious the whole day, especially when coming back to work. So I was like, what's the point?
I can see also it's tough to take a sick day because when you go back, you had to do all that work. So I understand that. But at the same time, if you're taking a sick day and your work can't handle it, then there's something wrong with your job. Sorry, I just punched the mic.
Josh is very mad. Right?
Because like that shouldn't just be on you.
Yeah.
And like, you know what? I'll be honest. Like the one thing I kind of I've definitely been way more carefree in a lot of things in my life, to the point where I'm like, I know myself, I'll get it done. Like even if I had to stay an extra 2 hours, I'll get it done. But taking a day off like rejuvenates you.
It really does.
And so like for me, it's like I already know that I can't focus. So if I take a day off and relax, the next day I'm going to be so much more focused, and it will actually get the same amount of work done, probably in less time.
Maybe even more work done.
Exactly. So like I've been kind of just YOLO a lot of my stuff.
I love Josh's YOLO era.
right? So like even for like even Catherine was saying how like maybe we'll just work at like Ogan Fort. Like I'm just like whatever, like part time.
Yeah.
I'm good with people.
Yeah.
He
likes clothes.
I like clothes. I like discounts. I like giving discounts to friends, even though they'll probably be like, "Why are you buying a extra small shirt?" I'm like, "It's for
Don't
my
judge
fit
me."
era. It'll fit my arm." Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just maybe it's just kind of like I cared so much for so long that now I don't care at all.
Oh, just let go.
Let it go.
It's very freeing.
In the end, it doesn't
Doesn't
even
matter.
matter. You want it?
Yeah. You're gonna feed it to me. You didn't.
No, I'm eating the bits. Care less.
Care less about the things that don't matter.
Oh, you gotta figure that out though. You gotta like figure out what does matter, and what does matter.
Picking up that crumb
Oh
off
no,
the
I
floor.
left the.
It's right there. I'll get it.
Where'd it go? What does matter is your relationships with people,
Your health.
family, your health,
Mental health.
and honestly, like some kind of joy. You know, you have to have some kind of joy in your life. Like your work doesn't have to be it.
Shouldn't be. No.
Sometimes it does fit, and that's nice for you. Congrats.
Good for you.
Good for you. But it doesn't always have to. It's not always like that, and I think that's something that we were taught growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially social media. It's not. It's a lie. It's all a lie. So. But also, if you have someone rich in your family, then it's just live your life.
Like, where's that person?
Where is that?
Can Josh's family adopt me? Just sips bubble tea in dissatisfaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm content
With what?
with hunger. With my
Especially
hunger.
with life.
I mean, generally that too, yeah.
Mm.
I feel like I'm at a good point.
I have a question.
Yes.
Going back into work after your hiatus,
My hiatus.
how do you feel?
Like now?
Mm.
I feel better. So I switched positions midway too as well. And this position is going to be a lot better, I think. So that also is helping a lot. And everyone else has been really supportive about it too. They were like, "Hey, you're back." And I was like, "Hi." Are you mad at me? Please don't be mad.
Because my question is, like, me taking that, okay, me taking those like 4 months off, but really I wasn't because I was still thinking about everything and working all the time. I working like TOCing as usual, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I still went back to work with a better understanding of how my brain and body work, and that changed how I worked. And like, I didn't really put that pressure of being like there all the time. Like I actually had this guilt. I remember back in my other school where I had coworkers who worked so long hours, like they were stay till like 7 8 or whatever, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible teacher. No, like I just knew what my priorities were.
It's hard.
Yeah.
What's that? Comparison is a thief of joy.
Yes.
Like you can't compare your work or productivity to someone else's because that could be like so much higher than yours, and everyone's is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do feel like after coming back from leave, I do have a better idea of like what I should be handling. And my bosses are also like hard on me on that. They're like, "Don't take on too much stuff." And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am."
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Yeah, I actually find, I think a lot of people don't understand the music teacher life. It's like you're running your own programs, right? Mm-hmm. So in terms of like taking on too much, you kind of have to. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, like you don't have to do the trips, you don't have to do the concerts, but really that's like what makes the program, and like the kids will love it, and like that's why they stay. Yeah. So for me, I had to go, okay, I can't do this, but I had to sacrifice some things. So like, for example, luckily I only work 4 days a week, which is so nice. So like honestly, 4 day work weeks should be a thing. I know it's somewhere in the world, but you've been having just that one day just to like click in my brain and go, okay, I can do it. But you know what? I will do these trips, but we won't do the parade. So for example, we didn't do the parade this year, but we did the trips. So I kind of had to like prioritize or figure out, yes, I'll do stuff, but I'll sacrifice something else, you know? And instead back then, Josh would be like, sacrifice my well-being and then do everything.
All the trips, all the parades, all the events.
Yeah, because I would feel like I'm a bad teacher. But what was really cool was like, I told the kids, I'm like, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I'm exhausted. I can't, like, I'm so tired and I don't think I can do this, and I feel bad because you guys wanted to do it. But they were like, Mr. Poon, like, you stepped in and did so much already for us. Like, we can't imagine how much you had to plan. Like, so it'd be
that's
totally
so nice
right?
of your kids.
Like, the kids get it.
And I think it helps them respect you more because you're honest with them and you're like real. Yeah.
And we ended up just doing it at the concert where they just got up and like you ran out of the audience, right? So,
that was good.
that was good. Right. Oh.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Healing. Glowing up.
Growing up.
Glowing up.
Growing up and glowing up.
Also growing up.
Growing up and glowing up.
Getting old, guys.
I'm
getting old.
We love an awkward silence.
What?
What? We love an awkward silence.
Oh, I thought you said where's Silas? I was like, I don't know where Silas is.
Go away, brother. But yeah, anyways, we are sorry that we haven't been posting, but we hope that you still enjoy our random, what's it called? Trains of random thought, random.
Oh, what is it?
Stream of consciousness.
That's it, yeah. We're still here.
We're still here.
We're just busy.
We're busy, and you know, we'll get better with things. And we also I ordered the mic things, but I left it in Vancouver.
Oh, is that really?
So
wait, where in Vancouver?
I put it in this little, like, my little bag of like chargers and stuff, and I left it at my friend's house. So they're there.
We'll get to those.
We'll get them.
We have mics to work with.
I know, but we wanted to do those cooking things.
I know.
You have to be like, okay, guys.
All you hear is like the stove. It's like
but we'll totally get back into it, and like, I feel like life will be more interesting soon. You know.
Yes, once summer's over and we stop going everywhere.
We actually start.
We're little travel bugs.
Anyways, thanks for joining us today. We will see you next time.
Peace.
Why do we do it at the same time? Bye. Hey everyone, thanks again for watching our episode this week. We apologize again. I know it's been a little bit chaotic. Captain and I have literally not seen each other that much, and we've been traveling too much, so lol, gotcha. So if you want to continue to follow us, you can find us on Instagram, our RiceWashed podcast, as well as YouTube and TikTok and all that fun stuff. And you want to support Catherine and I, you can find me at JFK Poon and Catherine at Captain Lava. And we will see you next time. Bye.